Straight ahead on 12 News, a tiny strip of land that's causing big concerns in Plymouth. Then a Minnesota hospital first.
It's very exciting. It's a very exciting day to see this take off.
North Memorial begins offering a valuable resource to babies. But first, think Friday's forecast is surreal? Let's take a short step back into history. 12 News starts right now. Winter isn't exactly giving up yet. Hello, everyone. I'm Mike Johnson.
And I'm Alexandra Renslow. Winter weather continues to throw us a curveball.
An April snowstorm could break a few records of its own. So far, we've had the second coldest winter on record. We've had the most days below zero in the Northwest Metro at 56, and the coldest February on record. The snow stuck around longer than normal this year, and after Friday, we're expected to have even more snow on the ground.
Measurable snow in April is common, but to get 8 or 9 inches is not so common.
Weather watcher Steve Reckers in New Hope says it might be rare to get almost 10 inches of snow in an April snowstorm, but just remember last year, on April 18th, we got more than 9 inches of snow in a storm that caused people to leave work early and canceled after-school activities. Overall, April 2013 was the snowiest on record with 22 inches, and flurries lasted well into May. And Steve Reckers says if you look on the positive side, the snow in April doesn't stick around too long. The warmer temperatures melt it very quickly.
Well, MnDOT is focused on a winter storm now. It will soon focus on the second biggest construction year in state history. Today, MnDOT announced plans for more than $1 billion worth of road construction. That includes beginning the last leg of Highway 610 in Maple Grove. Work will start this fall on the $112 million project to extend 610 all the way to Interstate 94. Another big Northwest Metro project is widening Interstate 94 between Rogers and St. Michael. In July, MnDOT will start work on adding another lane in each direction.
A police chase through Plymouth ends with a teenage driver crashing into a creek. The State Patrol says a 15-year-old driver wouldn't stop after a trooper tried to pull him over for speeding on Highway 169 early Thursday morning. The pursuit lasted until the driver went off the road and crashed into Bassett Creek near 10th Avenue and Revere Lane. Police say the driver and a 19-year-old passenger tried to swim away before they were arrested. Both are now facing charges. And Brooklyn Park Police have arrested a man who they say fired gunshots in a city park. The incident happened late Saturday morning at River Park on the city's east side. No one was injured. Police credit tips from the public for leading to that arrest. Well, North Memorial launched a new program today that will benefit some of the hospital's smallest patients.
It will allow local moms to donate their extra breast milk to the hospital, where it will go to babies in need. Cassie Bonstrom has more on why the program is so important.
Nathan Allen Johnson.
Like all parents, Chris and Stephanie Johnson want what's best for their new son.
Definitely a unique feeling. I don't think it can be described.
He was delivered via C-section 2 days ago.
When he was born, his blood sugar was really low, and they had asked him because we had to supplement with something, said, do you want to use the donated milk or formula?
Knowing the benefits of breast milk, they opted for donor milk.
It seemed like a better option than formula at the time. So
for the past 3 years, North Memorial has offered donated breast milk to babies who, for whatever reason, can't breastfeed from their own moms quite yet.
Just used it for the first 2 nights. But it was just to keep his blood sugar up until mine came in.
This is our donor breast milk.
The milk has come from the University of Iowa's donor program, where it's first screened and pasteurized.
And so this is a very good way we could give them nutrition.
The demand has been so high, however, that North Memorial is now starting their own milk depot. Starting today, they're taking local donations.
It's very exciting. It's a very exciting day.
Lactation consultant Evie Lindholm says donor milk is not meant to replace a mother's own breast milk.
It's a bridge. It's definitely a bridge, because the donor milk is available until the mom's milk comes in.
And fortunately, the donors are plentiful.
We have practitioners, nurse practitioners, and doctors say that they have moms asking all the time what to do with this extra milk that they don't need.
Rather than have it go to waste, the hospital is now ready to put it to good use, where it will help more families like the Johnsons.
It's working. It's helping him and helps people that can't produce milk at all. So that was a great thing.
You give him a kiss?
In Robbinsdale, I'm Cassie Bonstrom, 12 News.
If you're a nursing mom and you'd like to donate to North Memorial's program, you can visit our website for more information. All donors will be screened and their milk tested and pasteurized before it's returned to the hospital.
A tiny section of land in Plymouth is raising some big questions over water rights and city zoning rules. Dan Gustafson owns this 5-foot wide sliver of land wedged between two homes on Medicine Lake. He bought the land 2 years ago for $28,000 so he could dock his boat there. But 2 years later, Gustafson still can't actually build a dock because city zoning rules won't allow it. He believes the city is depriving his rights as a lake property owner.
You know, common law here in the United States and in Minnesota indicates that if you own shore, you can put out a dock.
It always is a challenge because you're looking at somebody's issue that they're presenting, but changes like this affect the whole city. So we have to be cognizant of what impact it'll have on all property owners.
The City Planning Commission recommends docks be set back at least 6 feet from side lot lines so they're not too close to neighboring properties. But under that recommendation, Gustafson couldn't build a dock. City Council could decide the issue on April 8th. In Brooklyn Park, a popular gathering spot is right in the middle of an overhaul.
It's a 24-hour makeover that will benefit our military community. Outside the Palmer Lake VFW in Brooklyn Park, the flying flags mark a popular gathering spot for the military community. Inside the VFW,
so this wall here, you want to take it down?
Volunteers are getting their marching orders. It's out with the old and in with the new as the banquet hall gets a facelift.
Been looked this way since the 70s, so we thought it would be time for an uplift.
Oh my gosh. You know, back in the days when you could smoke in the bar, it's time to go. So we got to get rid of these panels and clean it up and make it look nice.
More than 24 volunteers started the work Wednesday evening.
Okay.
All right. Good.
Home Depot is doing the heavy lifting, coming through with a grant to cover the cost of the project, and employees who volunteer their time to help through a program called Team Depot.
It focuses on the community, veterans, and making sure that that we're also making we're doing our part in the community.
The work here will benefit a community of veterans and beyond.
I know when I was in the National Guard, we used to come here for meals and things like that. So it's had a lot of good use.
For these volunteers, there are no bigger fish to fry. Their mission? Complete this remodel in time for Friday night's fish fry. The $8,000 grant covers the cost of the project, plus Bear Paint is chipping in too, providing all the paint that's needed. Coming up, a standout student who's also a talented artist.
Then later in sports, meet a young Armstrong baseball team that has a good set of arms.
But first, to shovel or not to shovel? According to the forecast, snow is likely Friday, but it does warm up over the weekend. A Maple Grove student science project has caught the attention of scientists at 3M. Senior Jackson Egert invented a device that goes between your washing machine and clothes dryer. It preheats the air that goes into the dryer, saving electricity and money. He presented his idea at the regional science fair and was then invited to present in front of 300 scientists and engineers at 3M.
I was expecting to be completely blown out of the water, so having this much success was absolutely extraordinary, and I'm just taken aback by the whole thing.
Jackson is passionate about science, but has an interest in flying too. He's putting off a college decision until after he sees where this project might take him. Our standout student this week not only excels in academics, but he's also very artistic.
Tom McCallie is a senior at Perpich Center for Arts Education, and 12 News reporter Sonia Goins has more.
My main interest is oil paint, but I also work with charcoal and acrylic.
Tom McCallie says his love for art began at the early age of 4.
These are women in Greece.
Over the years, he's perfected his craft.
This is my senior retrospective, which is basically all the works that I've created over the last 2 years.
Art really does imitate life. Tom's life experiences come to life on canvas, One of his paintings depicts his life growing up in Africa.
It's a traditional Zimbabwean pattern, and so that's one of the countries I lived in, so I decided to use that as my background to reflect my upbringing and like where I've been in life.
Tom also won the National Gold Key from the National Scholastic Arts and Writing Awards.
I was the top 1%.
He's the only student in Minnesota to receive both a gold and silver award.
It makes me feel good, yeah, definitely, but it's just, I'm thankful.
Tom is like a big sponge. When he walks into a room, you can see that he just absorbs everything around him.
His art teacher is not surprised that Tom is getting national recognition for his work.
You can have talent, you can be gifted, but there are those other factors, a work ethic, a focus. He's the kid that's in there just painting and painting and painting.
He's also a straight-A student. Math is one of his favorite subjects.
I took AP Calculus last year, and I've just always been strong in math, and I've enjoyed it, and it's something I've always liked to do.
The sky's the limit for this well-rounded student.
Do I think this young man has a promising future? Well, is the sun going to come up? Is it, that's how I feel. There's just something about his work that is really remarkable.
In Golden Valley, Sonia Goins, 12 News.
Very talented, and after graduation, Tom wants to attend the Maryland Institute College of Art or the Art Institute of Chicago. Either way, he'll probably do very well, right?
Exactly.
Coming up, an Earl Brown Elementary student who's bringing smiles to others during tough times.
But first in sports, a former Cooper basketball star shows his game against the nation's best players. John Jacobson has that and more when we come back.
They say it's all about pitching every year, and we got a local team that thinks they've got a pretty good shot with some strong arms.
Good pitching staff, and now they'll find out if they can hit once the games actually start. After a team trip to Kansas over spring break, it was back up north for the Armstrong baseball team. The Falcons will have a lot of new faces in the lineup this spring. The bad news is the Falcons graduated some key players in key spots, including catcher and in the middle of the infield, from a team that tied for fourth in the Northwest Suburban Conference a year ago. The good news, they have plenty of pitching coming back, and that'll be a strong point.
We should have a really good pitching staff. We only lose one guy, and the rest have all pitched varsity innings so far, and they're ready too.
We have two guys that have been throwing since they've been in 9th grade for us, and they've pitched in big games and have that experience that we're looking for. We got a couple other guys that threw a lot of innings, and I think in a year like this, when you could be backing up with games, I think it will be a big deal to have that much pitching. And we got a couple new guys too that we're really looking forward to see on the mound.
Left-handers Jack Wibben and Jordan Kuznia are proven veteran pitchers who will lead a deep and talented Falcon staff. Matthew Bachmeyer was an effective reliever last spring and will be another key pitcher. While they're unproven in most other spots, the competition for playing time has everyone working hard.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of competition this year. There's many outfielders, many third basemen, first basemen. Our middle infield's still undecided, so it's going to be a fight for the starting spots.
I think last year it was more frustrating not being able to get outside because we had a lot of experience. And those guys, they just kind of got bored inside, where these new guys, they're learning new stuff, they're learning new base running, they're learning how we want to play defense. And we've actually had a lot of fun, and they've been really receptive to just working inside, and they've been working really hard. So it's a good time to get a lot of the little things out of the way.
The Falcons were supposed to start the season Saturday, but that's not going to happen. Their opener is now slated for this coming Wednesday at home against Anoka, but that is very much in doubt too. Unlike the Armstrong baseball team, Hopkins will have a very familiar lineup in softball this season. That's because the Royals have almost everyone back from a team that was 8-7 in the weather-shortened 2013 campaign. With so many players back, there's a comfort level coming into the season for the players and coaches, and they're eager to get started.
I'm very excited about the spring. We've been working really hard all off season, and we look forward to showing everything that we've worked so hard on.
We've got an experienced club coming back. We've got we have 8 out of 9 returning starters. So I just lost a center fielder last year. So we have a mix of older girls in conjunction with some younger ones. Practice has been good. We're a little bit ahead of schedule right now, and that's because of all the experience we have.
The Royals are strong up the middle, including at shortstop with Josie Rees and catcher with Aaron O'Neill, who was in Europe with the U.S. Select Hockey team on the day we visited. One thing to watch, the health of pitcher Lauren Fegler. Fegler tore her ACL at the end of the tennis season in the fall and is just getting back to full duty. As the key pitcher and one of the team's best hitters, how she's able to perform will be very important.
My knee's definitely coming along in good time for the season. I think the team is looking really good, even without me here, but it'll be really good to get back into the swing of things. Getting back into it a little more, it'll be helpful.
We're working her back, and we're expecting a lot out of her, and she's just getting back into the swing right now. So if we're healthy and we can get some warm weather, we'll be good to go.
The Royals are scheduled to open the season Wednesday, April 9th at home against Elk River. For the first time in the same year, 3 Minnesota players were part of the McDonald's All-American basketball game. Wednesday night in Chicago, former Cooper High School standout Rashad Vaughn was part of the West squad. Vaughn played 3 years at Cooper before going to Nevada to play for Findlay Prep School his senior year. He scored 14 points on 5 of 11 shooting Wednesday and added 5 rebounds and 1 assist as the West beat the East All-Stars 105-102. Vaughn will play collegiately at Nevada, Las Vegas. Also in the McDonald's game from Minnesota were Reed Travis of De La Salle and Apple Valley's Tyus Jones. Vaughn, a nice game, 14 points. His last high school event.
Elite crowd there, too.
Yeah, very great players.
Thanks a lot, John. Still ahead, a Brooklyn Park 5th grader who could become as popular as the Easter Bunny.
We'll be right back.
Finally, a 5th grader who already realizes it's better to give than to receive.
Earl Brown Elementary student Alanna Worrall plans to bring smiles to kids in the hospital. She came up with the idea of making Easter baskets for patients. Alanna calls them Feel Better baskets, which include jelly beans, bubbles, toys, and stuffed animals.
It makes me feel amazing because I just love the feeling to make kids feel good.
Alanna's efforts started several years ago after she herself was in the hospital. She eventually partnered with the nonprofit Kids for a Better World to raise money for supplies. This year, Alanna plans to make close to 50 Easter baskets for kids at Gillette Children's Hospital in St. Paul. That's so great. The kids not just thinking about themselves, thinking about others.
It makes a lot of sense. She's been there.
Right. That's it for now. Thanks so much for joining us, everyone.
We'll see you back here tomorrow. Community Corner is coming up next.